Hey everybody, it's Martha. Welcome back to my shabby craft studio. Excuse me while I make a bunch of noise getting settled. So I've been busy the last few days and made some various things, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Right now, what I'm going to do is tell you that I've been inspired by watching somebody the last few days. Hi, Angela. Angela Thoma has been doing a mixed media project. And because I have not done a project like that before, I've been holding off on doing a project like that because I am trepidatious, how's that for a big word, 75-cent word, about doing it because I haven't done it before. How's that for a convoluted sentence? So, we're going to play. Yes, we are. And what I'm going to do is I have my scraps here and scraps here, and I have lots of scraps everywhere. And I've already done one set of sheets with collaging. Now, Angela did her project on a canvas, which is very cool. And I have, I think, some canvases somewhere, but that's not what I'm going to do today. I am going to apply her methods to a bit of a different setup, and some of it's going to look familiar to you, and some of it may not. And I'm sorry, I am facing away from the phone a little bit because I'm looking through my stash of stuff over here to see if there's anything in another pile I want to use. I don't think there's much, but I can reach over there if I find something. My hand is itching really bad all of a sudden. Okay, nerves. I betcha it's nerves. So what I'm going to do is my other project goes in this direction, and I want this project to go in this direction. So that's what we're going to do. And I know it's not all going to fit on camera. I know you can't see below and above, but if I don't start the orientation this way, I'll get confused and then I'll make a mistake. So instead of putting this on this way, which is how my other configuration goes, I am going to put it on this way. And glue stick. And so anyway, I hope this finds everybody doing well. I know I went a little MIA again. That happens. I don't even remember my last video or what I said in it or what it was about or what I told you about. I guess I should have checked that out before I started another video, but I didn't. I am not the video making machine like some of our friends out there. But, you know, here this is. Here we are. I do want to thank those of you that went over to see Tundra Maybell. I am ever so grateful that you did that, and so is Tundra. She did write me a little message on the last video to express her thanks, and I want to thank you as well. It meant a lot to her. She did reach 100 subscribers. If you haven't been there yet, please go check her out. She is in the process of moving, so there are going to be gaps in what she's able to do right now. But, you know, we've all got stuff going on, and we have to understand that. And just like I'm not here every day, I'll be honest, I've tried. I tried several videos in a week, and honestly, I don't know how people do it. I just don't. I feel like I have to do what I'm inspired to do. I can't do it because people out there expect me to show up every day. I've never been good with that. Even when I had a full-time job, I wasn't good at that. I have to be inspired. So, this is just going to be kind of a haphazard kind of throw it together you know, grab out what I can find kind of video, and we're going to see what we come up with, but I may have to fast forward through some of it because, you know, you can only watch so much real collaging. But if you want to play along with me, I can tell you some of the things that you might need if you were to decide to do this at the same time. And it might be fun to see what happens if others were to do that with me. So if you have some just papers that are out there that are leftovers and scraps and bits and pieces, doesn't matter if they're digital kits or they're some scrapbooking papers. Not anything heavy. Like in my envelope here, I do have some cardstock, and I don't want to use that. So just take out those things that are kind of light and airy and that are leftovers, you know, and it can be a mishmash of things. It doesn't have to match up because some of it you're going to most likely be covering up again. There. Now I have a bunch of stuff out that hopefully we can put on here without me having to rummage through the envelope again. So yeah, so we're just going to do some collage, and if you do want to follow along, just pull out your collage bits and some book pages to collage on. Or, you know, you could use copy paper that is sort of like, say you printed out digitals that didn't come out right, or you have copy paper that, you know, maybe your spouse or you work and it's trash. You know, you printed stuff out and you don't need it anymore. Or say you do keep that stuff aside, or even junk mail. If you don't have book pages and stuff like that, you could use junk mail. Just make sure it's not too heavy because you're going to be layering. And this is by no means, this is my disclaimer, not a tutorial. This is a play with me. Let's play. I guess play with me doesn't sound appropriate for a YouTube subject. I have a friend who is a horse person, and she has a video she put up like a year ago, and YouTube just tagged it as not appropriate for children. She's doing a horse, she's driving a horse in a carriage. I mean, come on, YouTube, really get a grip. It's not like she's a gamer or something. I mean, crikey, I just can't believe. I don't know what's worse, YouTube or Facebook at this point. So, yeah. It's just crazy, crazy stuff going on in the world and in this country. And, you know, you just kind of gotta pick up the art supplies and play a little, because if you don't, you'll go a little insane. Yep. So I have a real, why does this feel funny? This is just a heavier paper. A real mix of papers here. Lots of leftovers from various projects. Like I said, it's just my scrap bin. And it doesn't even matter if they have what was I going to say? Like straight edges. That's what I was going to say. Doesn't matter if they have straight edges or you tear them or they overlap. It really doesn't matter. Just put a couple of pages together is all I'm doing. And since this is going this way, I may only do 2 or 3 of these because, like I said, I don't know if you want to listen to me yammer on. Okay, supplies. So you get your book pages or your copy paper or whatever you're going to collage on. And you are going to need your papers to collage with. And glue. And that's the first step, is to do what we're doing here, is just do your normal everyday collage. And then you're going to need some gesso if you have it. If you don't, you could use spray inks, which I also plan on, I think, using. You can use an ink dauber and ink. You could use, I need a gluing surface. You could use anything that could give it color. Acrylic paint, watercolor, anything like that. I'm going to use my gesso, and then I am going to put color on. You could definitely skip the gesso part if you have white ink somewhere. You could use that. If you have white paint, all gesso is paint and glue, I think. Isn't that what gesso is, basically? So definitely you can use whatever floats your boat as far as that's concerned. And I do terrible with, I really need to get a glue book. Let's see, what have I got here that I can glue on? Some pages. Now, don't look at my pages. Might have bad words. Can't guarantee they don't, because this one book is, yeah, not a book I would tear pieces out of to use in anything unless I was definitely covering it up. Yeah, one of those. But it's got nice yellow pages, so that would be possible to do. All right, I'm getting a little tired of the same papers over and over, so I'm trying to look for some different stuff here. That works. And I'm being very messy with my glue, so I'm going through like one glue page per item here, seems like. So what's everyone been up to? Are you guys going anywhere for Thanksgiving? Are you staying home and protecting yourselves? I don't know what I want here. Let's see. Put that there. Are you going to spend it with family or not? Are you going to go somewhere? Are you traveling? I'm curious. Leave something in the comments below. And share with everybody what you're going to do. Okay, so once we get this done, you're going to need, like I said, gesso or white paint. Something where you can knock some of this stuff to the background, as Angela says. Let's see. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of my purple glue stick at the moment. It is not doing what I would like it to do, but it's what I've got at the moment. And I meant to take out my tacky glue and water some down and use that, but I didn't. So, you know, I think I could put that right there. Let's see. So how's the weather where you are? Today is actually really beautiful here. Golfers out on the golf course. It's chilly, don't get me wrong. We did have a change in temperature, but I do believe that it's like 60 something here. But you know, nothing wrong with that, I don't think. Okay, let's see. I meant to bring a wet towel in here so I'd have something to remember. It's probably not as important to have this be as directional as I'm making it. Because I haven't done it before, I'm not really sure. I think in the end, it will depend on the direction I want it to go in. But you could make it easy on yourself like I did my first one, which I will show you in a few minutes here. And do it in whatever direction you are used to collaging in. And that's all it is. It's doing the, I'm just going to fold that over because it doesn't really matter. Whatever you're used to as far as collaging is all that's important. It's a lot of this is going to be covered up and layered upon. And basically what Angela did was a mixed media canvas. Too close. So anyway, be careful. Nope, that's too close to the same kind of picture. Oh my. I'll just put it up here. I was just telling my husband to be careful because he's going off in the car. Make sure I'm still recording. Always helpful. Okay. My fingers are sticky. Very, very sticky. That's all Angela's fault that I'm singing. Angela sings all the time. Right, Ange? You're always singing. Okay. So I'm going to pop this on there. I'm almost full here. I'm trying to decide if I want a third page or not. So eventually, my plan, the end product, is going to be a more intense set of cards. They can be, when I say cards, I mean journaling cards, or I can't do two things at once. Journaling cards, or oh, come on, Martha. They could be a card that you include if you sell stuff. They could be cards for Happy Mail, or a rack, if that's what you wanted to do. A rack is a random act of kindness that you send out. They could be, you know, you could use them as backgrounds for Thanksgiving Day cards. I mean, whatever floats your boat. So basically, I'm going to make either cards or pockets or all of the above. So that's basically what I'm doing. Is my end goal will be pretty much the same as it would be if you're doing this just to make regular journaling cards. I just thought it'd be fun to make it a little more intricate, complicated. Not complicated, because people get scared away by the word complicated. Intricate, interesting, a little more depth in them, instead of just doing a collage and plopping a focal point on the front. And like I said, Angela did hers on a canvas, and it's actually going to be to hang on the wall. So that's fun, and you could do that as well. You know, if you love it and you want to frame it and you did it on book pages like this, so what? Go for it. That's okay. You can do that. You can frame whatever you love and hang it on the wall. You can put it in a journal. You can make a journal cover out of it. You know, there's no limit. You don't have to do what somebody else does, and there's no limit, really. Your only limitations are in your own mind. And that's the truth. When people say they're stuck, I watched an interview that Susan Taylor Brown sent me, and it's between Tim Holtz and what is the other man's name? It's on the tip of my tongue. I own some of his rubber stamps. He's another mixed media artist like Tim, and can't remember his name, but if I think of it, I will put it in the description box below. Anyway, they had some really good quotes, both of them. can't I think of his name? All I can think of is Sean Astin, and that's not it. He's an actor. My brain is going. It really is. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop at 2 pages since they go this way. And I'm going to plop some of this stuff down here. And I have my other one that I did not on camera. I have that sitting in the sun drying because I gessoed it before I turned on the camera, because I wasn't quite sure that I was up to doing this on camera, but you know what? Why not? Because if it doesn't turn out well, or I don't like it, or I make mistakes that I'm not willing to share with you, or I swear in the middle of it, or whatever, then who cares? It won't show up, right? Okay, so I have some gesso from what I did with the first one, and this is just a dry brush. And I'm just going to knock some of this color back by gessoing all over this thing. And basically, when artists gesso, they gesso to prepare a canvas to take other mediums, like paint. And you can rub it off a little bit in places if you want those places to show a little more. And you can make it thicker in places. Now, I should have probably waited for the ink to dry. I mean, the glue to dry. Why do I do that? I do that all the time. Say ink instead of glue. And I'm just basically being like a kindergartner. My mother sent me to nursery school. I don't know if it's because she couldn't stand me being around or what. I was a very quiet and shy little girl. I mean, painfully shy. And it was bad. And so I don't know if she sent me because of that or what. Anyway, I was the baby of the family. And she sent me off to nursery school, and I'd scream and cry every morning on getting on the bus as she shoved me on the door, on the step of the bus. And the bus driver, Carl, was his name. He also he owned a shoe store. Isn't that interesting? And he drove a bus in the morning and the afternoon. So, can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I can remember that. So, yeah, my mother would shove me on the bus. Very traumatic. I had a very traumatic childhood in more than one way. More than just being shoved on a school bus. But, yeah, incredibly, horribly shy. And in kindergarten, the teacher told my parents that all I ever used was black paint, and they thought there was something wrong with me. Well, not saying that there wasn't something wrong with me, but the only reason they asked me why all I would use is black paint, they thought, you know, maybe I was depressed or whatever. Nope. It's just everybody else ran up to the paints and took what they wanted first, and all that was ever left was black paint. And because I didn't run up and grab what I wanted, because it's just not what I did as a kid. Even now as an adult, I'll hang back and let everybody take what they want. So, yeah, there you go. All right, I'm going to put this in the sun. It is incredibly warm in this room, too. Because I have the blinds open and the sun shining in. So, open the slider. Hope that helps. All right, so here's the first one. And as you can see, it's upside down. It's all gessoed. And so now, let me get some of this out of the way. I have this glob of gesso stuck to my finger. Or maybe it's gesso and glue. Who knows? All right. So as you can see, it's well gessoed. It's not well glued. So any loose spots, I am going to glue down. And that's okay, because we're gonna just take care of business. Take care of business, yeah. And come on. Please glue down. Thank you. from now on, if I'm doing big collages like this, I'm going to use watered down tacky glue. I've been really, really happy with using the tacky glue. I made a cover for something that I did not record, and I didn't even take pictures of it. But one of my subbies, who has been celebrating her birthday month this month, is going to get something in the mail with that cover on it. So maybe she'll show it. So go check out Carol, Caryl, at Free Spirit Arts. And maybe at some point in the near future, she will be showing what I did. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe she'll hate it and not want to do it. So I have various types of tissue paper here. I have some, lots and lots. Sorry for the reach, but it was blowing away. Tim Holtz, and some just tissue paper from Hobby Lobby. This is tissue paper from Hobby Lobby as well. And I'm just going to put, since I was talking about tacky glue, and this is gesso right here. Ugh, shaky, shaky. Oh my God, I'm so hot. Wowza. All right, I'm just going to use the same. Hopefully my brush will come clean at the end. Oh, not too much. Oh, not too much. Oh, well, there we go. It's on my desk. It's on my pants. Luckily, I'm wearing cruddy clothes. Because who gets dressed up in the house anymore? Not I. It's funny because I've always been this way. Like when I'm in the house, I just wear my old beat up crummy clothes. That's just how I've always been. When we had horses, now this glue is really, really super thick, and I like to water it down. And I'm okay if the, you know, what's left of the gesso mixes in with it. I'm okay with that. This is a playtime, so I'm okay with it. You know what I'm going to do first, though? I think, after I squirt a little more water in there, I think maybe I'll get some inks out. And I'm going to use my archival ink, not archival ink. Yes, I am going to use archival ink, but that's not what I pulled out. I'm going to use some archival ink. I really, really am. Maybe. Come on. Thank you. And let's see. I had daubers for every one of these at one point in time. And I seem to not have them anymore. Where, oh, where did my little daubers go? Where, oh, where did they go? Well, that's not good. Alrighty. Let's see. What can I pull out that I can spread ink with? There. I'll use this. We'll just pull a sponge out from nowhere. And I'm just going to... Now, the point of this is that now this ink will not run. However, if you want your ink to share across the paper, use your distress inks or your distress oxides, and they will share across the paper. Now, the archival ink I'm using is the Ranger. This one's coffee. And, you know, they have the same colors as they have in the distress oxides and inks. So I'm okay with using either one, but I'm trying to see what effect I get if the ink does not share when I use glue on this. And that's one of the reasons I like having the archival inks. I am tending to go towards them because they don't spread around. They're not affected by the water. However, if you want something affected by the water and you want to spray it and get that effect, nothing wrong with that. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Just have some fun. So So this is plum. I do have the dauber for this. I like this plum color. If you watched my earth journal being made, you'll know I used plum in that. Oop, yeah. Getting it everywhere. That's the fun part of mixed media, right? Alrighty. And, you know, I may just go ahead and use some of the other inks that are not the archival, not the permanent ink, as we go along, because I might want to spray them with water. Let's see. What have I got here? I'm going to put some green in here. I am not a person who loves green, but for some ungodly reason, I've been attracted to green recently, so I don't know. Don't know what's going on with me. Somebody explain it, please. Somebody explain it. But you know, when people say they're stuck, I think I started this conversation and didn't finish it. When people say they're stuck, they're not. They're afraid. They're locked into what they're used to doing. And sometimes the best thing you can do is to get out of your comfort zone and do something different. So here we go. And you know, I love Andrea at Artymaze. And she is one of my heroes. And when I grow up, I would love to be as fearless and artistic as Andrea is. So, there you go. All right. Okay. Now, if I spray that green, will it do anything? I don't want to get this really wet. Oh, it does. It does. See? See, you can play with it. However, if I get this too wet, I'm afraid I will mess my glue up. And it's going to now take time to dry, which I did not plan on. So I may have to just edit and not torture you with the blow dryer. Yeah. So the archival ink, see, will not run. It just doesn't run because it's permanent. So that's okay. All right. Heat gun. All right. Put that where it's not going to start a fire, preferably. I'm going to put my inks back so I have more space to move. So bear with me a minute, please. Uh-oh. Come on, guys. Play nice in the drawer. No attacking each other. Thank you. Oh, you can't go there. I forgot. Because I'm going to stick these guys in there too. All right. And we're going to pull the inks out again, whether they be spray inks or whatever. I don't know. So what I'm going to do now is, if my glue hasn't dried, and this is why I'm not too worried about the wetness from the ink, is because basically we're going to decoupage some more. Now, I'm using the tacky glue because I don't like Mod Podge, and to be honest, I'm kind of done with my glue sticks as far as decoupage is concerned. So I was just looking at that to see if I had it right side up. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. You don't have to have it right side up. Yeah. So I'm just going to play. Oops. Come on, Martha. Now I have found that decoupaging and gesso don't always play nice together for me, but you know, I'm sure that's my technique and not the gesso's fault, more than likely, and not the glue's fault. So there you go. So if you have Mod Podge left over from other projects or you don't really like using it, you can use it in this. If you have school glue, you know, Elmer's, you could use that. I did a bunch of research the other day on PVA versus not PVA glue. And, you know, basically the consensus is almost any white glue is PVA glue, but not all white glue is PVA glue. If that doesn't confuse you, if that's not clear as mud, then hey, don't know what to tell you. But yeah, it's you have to look and see, and of course you want your glues to hold up. Please stick down. And you can use napkins. I have a ton load of napkins that I do plan on using in a project. I don't know if it'll be this one, but because I've been hoarding napkins, I am going to use them. And I am going to try and use just about everything I've got. I'm going to see how long it takes me to get through what I've got. Because at some time in the future, and I'm okay if it's a little wrinkled. If you're anal about that and wrinkling bothers you, fix it. I'm okay if it wrinkles a little bit. I'm okay with that. It's all right, because this is about texture and fun and being a kindergartner again. Or just a kinder. I mean, after the year we've all had, if you can't play, why bother, right? You're not stuck. You're just afraid to let loose. That's all it is. Honest. I hope I'm on screen. I'm trying. I really am. Now, I did not put on my Do Not Disturb, and I did not put on airplane mode. I actually, again, researching, I read that, or saw, I think on YouTube, that it's actually better, you're supposed to use Do Not Disturb and not the airplane mode for when you're recording. So there you go, my tip of the day. But, of course, all I'm doing is repeating what I heard someone else say. All these young people that know all this stuff on YouTube about technology. So, yep. Okay. Oh! I do have one piece of advice. Don't do what I just did. I just set my whole arm down here, and now it's full of glue. And do wear cruddy clothes that you don't really care about, because, yeah, you're going to get them a little messy. Now, that's only half the bird, because somewhere the head came off, and don't get freaked out, because you know what? It's probably going to be covered up with something else anyway. Layers, layers, layers. This is just layering. And if you don't have tissue paper, or you haven't played with your tissue paper lately, take it out, tear it up, and play with it. Just play with it. Just playing. Now, I'm trying not to get this too sopping wet, but, you know, it does take a lot of good glue to put this stuff down and have it stay appropriately. And we'll see. I may not like the gesso. Maybe knocking the colors back first with the gesso wasn't the best idea. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to experiment. That's not the right bird. That's the other half of another bird. Yes, there were birds involved in this fiasco. And yes, they may have been harmed in the fiasco. Not real birds, of course, paper birds, but still. Alrighty. Well, I thought I had. That's not it. Here's some words. Alright. Where am I lacking something? Okay. And this is probably going to be at least a couple of videos, if not more. Because, look, I think I found the head of the bird. Oh, I did. Let's put the rest of the bird together. I do believe that's the right bird. Yeah, this will be a couple videos because, you know, drying time and all that. So, this is, that does not look right, but it's probably going to be covered up anyway. So I have a little bit of glue left, and I'd like to use it up. This is the Friday of the week before Thanksgiving. We are not going anywhere. We are not going to spend time with our grandchildren, which really does sadden me quite a bit. But one of them plays soccer, the youngest one, who will be 6, I think. Sorry. Jen doesn't watch me, so she'll never know. I can't remember. She plays soccer several times a week, and she's around many people who then are around. She's around many little children who go to school, and they are around their parents who are probably working because it's a very well-to-do neighborhood and soccer league. So, and the other one goes to swim practice, although the swim meets have all been canceled, poor thing. The soccer practices, or soccer tournaments have not. However, because the governor just changed the rules here in Virginia, we were planning on going to see the last soccer game of this part of the season. And that was supposed to be tomorrow. And we can't go because the governor changed the rules and there can only be 25 spectators. So with all the kids on the soccer team, not even all the parents can go. And it is what it is. So I am not complaining. I am not griping. I am not whining. And I am not going to make a big deal out of it. Just explaining. Just a little explanation. Okay. The Tim Holtz does blend in nicely to the surrounding area. This tissue paper from Hobby Lobby and the lace one, it's much thicker. It's not as thin or see-through, transparent as the Tim Holtz tissue paper. So there's that. There's that. But it looks like it's in another language, and it is like faded newsprint. That's what it is. So it's fun to use. Let's see. Still more glue in here. But it does move around, so you gotta use your fingers. Okay. Now, where else can I use some? Up here. think right here. I'm going to put this sideways, because why not, right? Woo! All right, and then take this little piece, and we'll put that down here. So I have to tell you, I've been immersing myself in Hallmark movies because I love Hallmark movies and I love Hallmark Christmas movies. So, excuse me. So I've been immersing myself in that, and I watch at least 1 to 2 a day, and I just sit on the couch. And I mean, you know, it's fall going into winter. It's 2020. It's been a hell of a year, and there's no reason not to just enjoy myself. So the heck with everything. That's what I'm doing. And then I come here and play a little bit in the afternoons, or I play in the morning, and then I watch a movie in the afternoon. So, and Lifetime, last year, I didn't know until after Christmas. I don't know why I didn't know this, but Lifetime also does a bunch of really, mostly, I haven't really come across one I didn't like yet, Christmas movies as well. So they're giving Hallmark a run for their money, and I am enjoying it very, very muchly. So I am recording like 1 to 2 movies almost every day. And so they are building up quickly in the DVR. And I'm enjoying it. And I'm not going to feel guilty for it because I'm retired. I think that's it. I think that's it for this one. Where are we? Oh yeah, we're at 49 minutes, and I really don't, I don't know if 10 minutes will, I'm going to put this on the table and grab the other one if it's dry. All right, so I'm out of glue. So I'm going to have to kind of quit for now. Now, I didn't put any color on this one first, as you saw. So I may let this one dry and then add some color. Or maybe I'll add a little more glue and water and keep going on this one. So in the next video, I'll come back and we'll decide what the next step is going to be. Meanwhile, I will put the link to Angela, who is Dogwood Paper Arts on YouTube. And I will put the link to her channel there. I will put the link to the first video of her newest mixed media collage stuff that she's working on. And you can watch the same thing I'm watching. And you can catch up on her videos. And I'll be back with another video, like I said, when this all dries. And I can do the next step, which I don't even know what that's going to be at this point. So there you go. Don't know, but we'll see. So if you want to play along, you can catch up by doing your collage. If you want to gesso, you can gesso. There are no mixed media police telling you what to do or what's right or what's wrong. So you do what you want to. Add some color. You can keep going if you're inspired. Keep going and add to it. Pull out some napkins and tear them up, put them down, and have some fun. All right? So I'm going to turn the camera off, finish this up, and I'll be back. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Love you. Appreciate it. And happy crafting. Bye.